Every single time trial world record in Mario Kart World has been beaten and destroyed in the past week. And you might think it's because of new discoveries and amazing players putting in lots of hard work. That is true, but also Nintendo released a secret little patch that just completely changed everything. So today we'll be looking at brand new strategies and these much improved world record times to see what has changed. It has been 2 months of Mario Kart World, and these records are already insane. Starting off, we have Mario Bros. Circuit by Kyle Wade. This has improved by 3 seconds compared to the last time that we took a look 1 month ago. So there is a new shortcut here. Look at that. Oh, I haven't even done that one yet. That's like a charge jump into what looks like a wall detach, I think. Because that's the only way you can probably get that much speed. And then last time I was speculating about that particular left trick off the rail, which I will explain a little bit more later. But here we have these edge tricks, crazy stuff as always. There's just more and more crazy stuff being added on to each of these optimized runs. Oh, where are we going here? Oh, because we still have a mushroom, right? Haha, where did that trick come from? Holy, a little wall detach there too. Charge jump. Oh, that was different. That was different from lap 1. Maybe because we don't have the boost from the very beginning of the race. Now here, look, this right trick and then left trick, anytime you can do directional tricks on a rail, it's always faster, even if it means taking maybe a slightly more suboptimal line, because directional tricks actually send you faster. Well, I mean, left and right tricks send you faster than forward tricks. So a little edge trick here, mini turbo onto here, get the side trick, yep. And then, wow, that's so cool. And a little wall detach off that rail as well. Charge jump into the little barrier, I think. I'm definitely going to have to learn that. It looks like it's extremely, extremely difficult. I mean, anything that gets discovered in this game starting now is very, very difficult. Except, like, a lot of the improvements in these time trial records have come from tricks being changed by Nintendo's latest patch. So anytime you land in a trick boost, pretty much, you go faster than before. That's pretty much it. And like, oh, missed the edge trick, what? Okay, well, I mean, that's a huge time save that can still happen on this track. Wow. Yeah, it's only been a week since this game is like basically kind of new. So the game's not actually new. People are very good at it already, but these records are basically brand new because of how Nintendo kind of soft reset all the records by changing the way tricks work. Yeah, so this is Crown City by K4i, about 2 seconds faster than before. This is one I haven't practiced too much yet. Yeah, so get onto this and go over here. As you can see, side tricks, and there are so many tricks on Crown City. Look at this. And all of these are now faster than before. And if you charge jump onto those cars, I'm not sure how much faster that is than not charge jumping onto the cars, but you get a coin out of it every time you do that. So that really helps build up speed for the rest of the track. Yeah, so lots of tricks on Crown City, and we're going to have rail sections right here too. Here, we're going to go onto a car. Yup, nice. See the coin counter go up. And that little charge jump is to avoid getting too much air. Wow, going off the pole there, hitting another car. Look at these coins just go up and up. And one thing about high-speed combos such as this one is that the more coins you have, like, they don't always give you the same speed increase. Not every coin's equal. And you want to get to the higher coin counts really early because every coin matters more closer to 20. So in older records before all that car stuff, you wouldn't hit 20 coins until a little bit later, but now we're getting 20 coins earlier. And a nice little low trick, edge trick. Another one there. Wow. And that must save so much time because it's in a section where all you can do pretty much is get a blue mini turbo or get an orange mini turbo. Wait, how did that trick happen? What? Man, tricks are crazy in this game. You can see why, like, Nintendo buffing trick boosts. Wow, nice. Nintendo buffing trick boosts has helped so much with the world records because there are just so many tricks in these world records. I was actually thinking about it, and like, there's... Whoa, another trick. Okay, so I was thinking about how there's no tracks that lack tricks. Every single track has tricks you can do in it. At least in the world record, because I was thinking like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had, like, you know, I can already think of one. Baby Park had no tricks. So yeah, like Mario Kart World is all about these tricks. Whistlestop Summit has only improved by less than 1 second. This is Whistlestop Summit by Dot. And I want to see if all the same difficult strategies are being used, because this is one of the hardest time trials. And I can imagine, like, maybe it's not done quite as well, because it just takes so long to get one of these to be good. Or maybe another thing I'm speculating, because I'm not 100% sure how this patch works, is maybe tricks on rails have not been affected too much. So far I'm seeing pretty much all the same stuff as I saw in the last world record. Yep, this really tough thing. Nice. Okay. Looks like this... Oh, what extra trick? Okay, a little right trick there at the end and then an extra trick. Yeah, as you can see, like, a lot of these extra little unexpected tricks that you see are often side tricks, like a left or right trick. And that makes it... Yeah, right there. See, a left trick instead of a forward trick. Technically, you take a worse line, but doing side tricks is just faster. It puts you at a higher speed. So if you can use it, like right here too, right trick. If you can use that to put you on still a good line, it's always faster to do that. So let's see if we go for that extra side trick here again. Right there. Yeah, like we're using a side trick to basically go in a straight line. We're following the rail anyway, but the side trick just helps so much. Wow, that part's really tough. I can get that sometimes, but I think I need to practice that more. And, of course, this rail charge jump, sorry, just this regular charge jump, this charge gap jump, insane stuff. Like, to land there and then not have to use a mushroom afterwards to build up speed and not hitting the wall at the end. Just making that charge jump is not the hardest thing in the world, but making it so that you don't need a mushroom to recover and still be faster is extremely difficult. Wow, holy... This is such an impressive run. DK Spaceport by K4I. I'm starting to think that's supposed to be pronounced Kai, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this has improved by 2 seconds in the last month, and I have a feeling that we're hardly going to see anything different. I'm not sure. Some discoveries have been made on DK Spaceport, but... Oh, extra trick, interesting. But I don't know if they are actually faster for world records. So I imagine we're going to see mostly the same stuff, but just with the number of tricks you see on this track, there's... Nice, I just learned that recently, that charge jump. There's going to be a lot of time save just because of the patch. And that's just so interesting, because I wonder, you know, before the patch, we had so long with these strategies to optimize the world record run. And when I say we, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the people who are actually good. But now, we've only had a week to optimize these. And if there are no new strategies, then I wonder how optimized this is. Oh, that's cool. That's like you do like a ground trick boost instead of a rail trick to get a longer trick boost. And the physics of that was really funny. So yeah, I wonder how optimized this is versus the previous one. You know? I imagine that a lot of records right now are not as optimized, and wow, we're going on walls now. I wonder if that has to do with the patch, because I haven't seen this world record in the last month, so it's possible that was like a discovery before, but I'm really happy for that, because it used to be faster to not go on the walls, and look at these charge jumps. Whenever you get a long trick boost, the charge jump can be worth it. Alright, very nice, sub 130 now. Desert Hills by Cole, and this has changed combo. It used to be Bowser in the Real Racer. Now it is Daisy on... I can never remember what this vehicle is called, I'm so sorry. Yeah, like Daisy on a desert track. I feel like that's fitting. We didn't get Daisy's Palace in this game as a separate track. It's just that one intermission through Guy Bazaar, but I'm curious if there's any new strategies here. Charge jump with the orange mini turbo. I'm seeing a lot more charge jump optimizations now, and I'm very happy about that. But there are not that many tricks on this track, so it makes sense that this hasn't improved by that much. I'm curious why this combo change is better, though. That strategy is crazy. I'm not sure. It looks like it may be a bit different from the last time we saw it, but that makes Desert Hills so much more interesting in time trials, because it used to be so simple. And this charge jump, too, that's such a fun little optimization that we didn't see for the very start of this game. And now, hitting the tricks in the right spots here to get low air is actually really important too. And getting the orange mini turbo there is surprisingly more difficult than it looks. Where are we going? Oh, this is what we've seen before. Wait, so lap 1 was just total... I'm so sorry. I didn't really pay attention on lap 1. I was talking about something else, but now that I think about it, I think that's what we saw before. And lap 1 was the actual different parts. Is that like coin dependent or not faster on lap 2 and 3? I wonder why it's only on lap 1. Yeah, we're not going for it on lap 3 again. Interesting. Or maybe it's just for grabbing coins. Oh yeah, you get a lot of coins. Maybe this is just faster. And the lap 1 strategy was just for coins. I think that's what it probably is. Shy Guy Bazaar by Zay. Zay is a legend on this track, and this is improved by about 1 second, and we have a slight combo change, but still a lightweight, because lots of rails on this track. And the thing with the rails is that they are equally fast no matter what your speed stat is, so lightweights with low speed are totally fine on rails, and they have a higher mini turbo stat too. Love that shortcut. Okay, so I'm not very good at that. I've done it a few times, but it seems like an extremely hard and risky thing to do online. I'll talk a bit more about that later. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned that the last time we looked at this track, but I don't know. There's been so much Mario Kart World stuff going on lately, I can't remember exactly what's what. Okay, then that trick to actually get the boost and not have it count as you getting a glider trick is really tough. And so I don't usually go for that, because usually it doesn't give you a boost. Okay, so this is all super duper precise. You need to like get low air and hit all of those just perfectly. And no mini turbo right there, just releasing the drift, because on lap 2 you have too many coins and you're going too fast and the mini turbo is not worth it. When I do that strategy though, I never go for a mini turbo. Okay, charge jump there, being faster. Always interesting. Like that's just one of those nuances you just memorize, because I don't know why that's faster. You just get a lot of airtime, which is not always a good thing, but it is here. And the fact that this record hasn't improved by as much as some of the other tracks makes me think that the patch didn't affect rail tricks too much. Probably just the other tricks. Like the one right here, for example. This one, when you land on ground. At least to me, it hasn't felt like rail tricks are very different from before. And that little wall bonk right there actually really helps with alignment. Wall bonks are interesting in this game. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they would always just send you far away and give you a horrible line. Basically a run killer. But in this game, sometimes it hurts, sometimes it helps. I would say it actually helps more often than not on really sharp turns if you bonk the wall just right. Wario Stadium by this Japanese player. This record has improved by a little over 1 second in the past month, and this is actually the one that I used as an example to show just how crazy this patch has been, because I did a comparison of me racing against a previous world record and showed how I can off-screen that ghost in like the first couple of seconds. That's how much. Oh yes, new strategies. Nice, and land on the wall detach. So I've seen that strategy. I've not seen the wall detach at the end of it. That's crazy. I think that's only on lap 1 though for coins. And I actually sort of like discovered that on my own, but not the second half of it, just the first half of it. I was unable to make it faster, so props to sorry, I don't know who discovered that, but props to whoever discovered that for finding a way to make it faster and practical for coins. I want to see if they go for this on lap 2 and 3. No, okay. Yeah, I don't know if that can be faster unless you're taking the coin route, because it puts you on such a weird line. But yeah, you have to go up for this shortcut here, so that side trick is always nerve-wracking to me. It's like the one at the end of Whistlestop Summit. But yeah, like I almost discovered that strategy, but then didn't, because the end of it is really tough. And one thing a lot of people like to say is like, oh, look, I see a wall, I see a rail, I think you could do something faster with that. And then eventually one day it's discovered to be faster, and they're like, oh yeah, I thought of that early, I don't know why everyone didn't think about that. Well, you know, you can't just be an ideas person. A lot of people are really good at being ideas people, but actually putting it into practice and finding a way to make it faster and proving that it's faster, that's the hard part. Also, doing this little charge jump thing without the coin being there anymore, like the coin doesn't respawn in time trials. Holy, we're going so far to the left. What's that about? Probably for better alignment here. But yeah, that's really tough without a coin. I think I've hit it like once in my life, but with the coin, I get it most of the time. So luckily when you play online, the coin always respawns. Airship Fortress by Emil P, the Airship Fortress legend, and this has improved by a little under 1 second compared to 1 month ago. I wonder, like, I know these rail strategies are kind of crazy. Like, look at that. I don't know how that works, where like you land at the end of a rail and then it just shoots you forward a little bit. So, I mean, should I learn that? I don't know. Oh, a little extra trick there. Okay. I've known about that trick, but I never saw the world record go for it, so they must be doing something interesting that suddenly makes that faster. And a few glider tricks that probably don't do anything. Now a little wall hit right there. Yup. Perfect alignment. Oh, 2 wall hits. I don't know. That second one didn't look like it helped. Okay, coins. Oh, that is tough. Do you see how like almost 90 degrees that spike was compared to the rail there? You can easily fail it by having the wrong alignment. And that must be really tough because you have to go through the coins. That's why the alignment is so bad. I imagine on lap 2 and 3, you can take a better alignment through there that allows you to make the rail more easily. Because I don't know, I imagine several runs get lost to detaching from that rail. That just looks so tough. Like, if I hit that online just like that, I would imagine that I just failed it. See how much farther right we are here? Yeah, that's how I do it online. But going for those coins on lap 1, that makes it crazy. Yeah, going for all these little, like... Oh, a right trick there instead of a forward trick. I didn't know you could do that. You get so low air, though. I imagine that barely saves any time. Oh, that's a rail? Why is that just lap 3? Is it the fire pillar cycle? Man, it's crazy seeing all these techniques that are, for the most part, just time trial strategies. Like, I would hardly implement a lot of these online, but it's crazy how good these time trials are getting. I love this. DK Pass by Nightmare, and this is one of those tracks where you really need a high handling stat, and that is part of why you're seeing a lightweight here. Often we see lightweights on the tracks with a lot of rails because they go fast on rails, but here we just really need a high handling stat. Like, watch this right here. To get up here, and then you have to turn left really hard. And if you have a high handling, like, honestly, I wouldn't even go for that shortcut. Sorry, if you had low handling, like if you're playing Bowser on a fast vehicle, I wouldn't even go for that. And then this right here, this little tree shortcut. Wow, skipping that first part of off-road entirely. Now that I'm good at that shortcut, I can really appreciate how much better the world record does it compared to me. We'll see it again on the next lap, but part of what they're doing better than me is that they land really high on the first tree. And that gives them more airtime to skip the first part of the off-road. But the problem with that is we'll see coming up, but the top part of the tree is very hard to land on. Like, it can give you really bad air and mess up the entire shortcut. So this, the way they do it here is a lot more precise than the way I do it. So if you watch how high up on the first tree we're going here, like into the mid part of the leaves there, and that's how we stay so high up to skip the off-road. I don't do it like that. I go much lower on the tree, and I usually land in the off-road at the first part of that shortcut. Not by too much. It's still worth it the way I do it, but yeah, just... And then these 2 orange mini turbos here, really tough to get just right. And I imagine if you don't do it just right, it's probably slower than just getting blue mini turbos. Plus, when playing online, like, you know, unless you have a lot of space, there are some really precise things like that you shouldn't really go for. Especially because, like, let's say you're trailing a green shell and that's your protection. If you're drifting for that long, you're opening yourself up to attacks. So there's a lot of these where you have to, like, manage the risk of how much do I do time trial strategies and how much do I do online strategies. Even if you're perfectly consistent at something from time trials, doesn't mean it's always worth going for online. But of course, there are times where you should do it. Okay, very clean run. That's one of my best tracks, and I'm not even close to this time. Starview Peak by Wood22, and this has improved by just under 1 second. And we are on Cow now. It used to be Bowser. Interesting. Okay, so I do know a new discovery has been made on Starview Peak. Wait, let's see this. Charge jump. Yeah, it looks like whenever you're in a boost, and the boost lasts a long time through the entire charge jump duration, then you do want to do a charge jump, assuming you're going to be in a straight line. But yeah, there's been a discovery that you can do the mushroom shortcut at this point without a mushroom. And it's really tough. I don't think it's going to make it into world record time trials because... Not because it's difficult, but because there's no, like, very good mushroom spot on this track. Wow, we're drifting here now? Whoa, that's really cool. Okay, like, not that many tricks on this track. Wait, are there... Yeah, there's, like, 1 trick on this track, actually. Yeah, so... It makes sense that the record hasn't improved by much besides from, it looks like, from that optimization, from the drifting. Because what we used to do there is... just drive and turn on that rail. It must be extremely tough. I could hardly just drive on that edge of the road there to stay out of the water, but to get a drift there and barely dodge the wall, you know, like if you mess up that drift, you just shoot off the edge. This looks really risky to do. Okay, wow, actually hitting the wall to help, and then a bit of soft drifting to get that orange mini turbo before going off the glider. Also, something I've noticed is that when we go through boost panels on a glider, or like boost rings on a glider, we tend to hold down to stay higher. Now, I don't know how much time that saves and why it's faster, but I found myself doing it on every single one because I see the time trial records always do it. I haven't like really time trialed a lot of tracks in terms of like trying to get to an insane level at them. So that is definitely a gap in my knowledge that I plan to remedy one day. And then I'll have a lot more insights for these. But also I won't be as hyped to see the new strategies because I'll just know them all the time, you know? It's a it's a double-edged sword. I'll just take the lazy route and not know them and call it hype. Oh, barely hitting that boost ring on the right. Hey, the camera too. Sky High Sundae by Jamie. This is improved by over 3 seconds. And I know there have been some strategy changes, but honestly, look at how many tricks there are. This is the #1 reason why this record has improved by as much as it did. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, no more charge jump there, but charge jump here. That might not be new, actually. Oh, interesting, going for an extra coin there. All right. Charge jump. What? Extra trick on the wall because of the charge jump. Whoa. Nice. That is very surprising to me. I guess you end up with a little bit less air and, oh, a left trick. You see that? That's a little bit faster than just riding the rail, even a neutral trick. Okay, tricking there instead of orange mini turbo. I've always felt like that's faster, but like the orange mini turbo, I guess, was faster. And oh, we're doing this now? Where's that extra trick we used to do? And where are we going? This path, edge trick? Hang on, that's crazy. So no more green path on the right? I guess that's why we're going for extra coins, because a lot of the coins that we'd get before came from the green path on the right. Tricking off the edge there. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe the reason this... Oh, yeah, and then I forgot, we're not going for glider anymore. Oh, going for the rail path every time. Yeah, I've always felt like that should be faster too, but it just wasn't until like that extra trick we're doing now. But this is so interesting. So many strategy changes have happened here, and I wonder, like, someone let me know in the comments if you know, are these strategy changes only faster because of the update for tricks? Or has this just been going on and I didn't realize, and then the update just made the track even faster? Like, regardless of all this stuff. This is crazy stuff. Man, Sky High Sundae is so much better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Sky High Sundae. Wario Shipyard by King Alex. This is improved by a little under 2 seconds, which is very significant. I heard people say that water physics got better with this update. I haven't personally noticed it myself. I wonder if it has to do with water tricks, and I just can't really tell. But yeah, I mean, there's a pretty significant improvement on this track. I wonder if we'll see new strategies. If I don't see any new strategies, then I'm going to assume it has to do with water actually getting improved. Okay. Nice. Yeah, that is extremely tough. I don't do it like that with the trick on the pole. I just mushroom over the off-road like a normal person. Not like these time trial legends. Okay, so far, unless they subtly change the way that that shortcut over the white part worked, then everything's pretty much looking the same to me. So there must have been something to do with the patch that really improved Wario Shipyard. Also, hitting that shortcut cleanly all 3 laps is very, very impressive. I can get it, like, I can get a good version of it, like, some of the time. Oh, that charge jump almost didn't charge because of the airtime from the water. And then using that mushroom right in the water and, wow, landing over that rock. That's insane. I mean, that's part of what makes that version of it so good, is going over the rock, because otherwise you have to go around it, and going around it in the water is really bad. In general, like, if you can ever help it, you want to avoid doing turns in the water. turning in water is so slow. Like, being in the water is really slow already. Then turning it's like unbelievably slow. And there is one you can't avoid. Like here, we avoid this turn in the water. The next turn is unavoidable. There's nothing you can do about turning in the water here. There's no wall ride that can save you here. But, I mean, you spend a lot of it in a trick boost. But yeah, and then this part, using this to completely avoid the water. Do you see how much faster we suddenly get when we exit the water? It's crazy. Like, I don't know what Nintendo was cooking up with their water, because water is just slow. Like, it's not only awkward to drive in and the trick boosts seem really luck-based, but it's also just slow. And, I mean, it makes for cool stuff, though, because going around the water as an optimization is always really fun. All right, and then this thing at the end. Love it. The little camera glitch. Koopa Troopa Beach by Alberto, the Koopa Troopa Beach legend, and this has improved by less than half a second. I can totally see why, because the only trick you do on this track, or the only trick boost you get, is 3 times, no, not right here, I guess starting on lap 2, because we're going for coins on lap 1, but yeah, that one shortcut, like, if not for that one shortcut, you know, way in the past, there were actually no tricks on this track, I believe, but then, you know, this one shortcut got discovered right here with the charge jump, and now we have one trick. You know, that one trick boost upon landing. So, of course, this record improved as well from the patch. I doubt we could have saved this much time compared to before without the patch. But yeah, like, that's it. We got 3 tricks on this track. Honestly, like, I really like the complexity and freedom you have with tricks in this game and how it usually makes you faster to do the tricks, unlike in Mario Kart Wii, where tricks were introduced, thankfully, but didn't always make you faster for some reason, because airtime was just so bad in that game. And now, like, airtime's pretty bad in this game too, but the trick boosts seem like not only are they stronger, but there's also like more stuff you can do with tricking in the air and stuff. And yeah, there's just like, I feel like the tricking has really been improved as the Mario Kart entries have come along. So I'm really happy with the way tricks are in this game. And yeah, so this one hardly improved, but still got to improve thanks to there being tricks on this track. Interesting, we're not using Penguin on this track anymore. So Faraway Oasis by James, this is improved by about 1.5 seconds. And this is a really legendary track for James, because James is the one who discovered the, I guess you can call it, super bounce shortcut, the water bounce shortcut. Oh, charge jump there? What? Why would that be faster? Does it have to do with the incline and like charging up there instead of like driving up there? Yeah, that probably makes sense. That's a thing that was like sort of common in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but look at this. Oh, that's new, that's new. Wait, we used to go up top. What happened to that? I wonder if that has to do with the combo change, like having a little bit more handling to get through that part, because before, the way the strategy works, well, I'll put it on screen, is that you would get up to the top section, and then you don't need handling because the rail will just correct your alignment for you. And no charge jump this time. I wonder... Oh, charge jump there? I'm so curious why that's faster. It doesn't look faster to me, but it must be. I wonder how much faster it is. Okay, let's see this again. Is it the same on lap 2 and 3? Yeah, okay, that's just new. Interesting. Not going up top anymore. I wonder if that's a brand new discovery, or it was known, but we didn't want to use a high handling combo because losing out on the speed, you know? And that's why we used Penguin. But yeah, very interesting stuff going on this track. And this edge trick, crazy stuff. This is why I will never hold a time trial world record again. That's the only reason, right? Edge tricks are too hard. No, there are some easy edge tricks in this game. I'll point it out when we see it, but yeah, that one looks really tough. It's hardly even a turn. And this looks really tough too, like barely dodging that wall. Getting 2 tricks there, interesting. Man, this track is so... This must be so toxic, playing this in time trials, trying to hit that shortcut 3 times. Peach Beach has only improved by about half a second. Just like Koopa Troopa Beach, there are not that many tricks on this track. Or at least not many where you land on the ground. Like this just counts as 1, I believe. Maybe the charge jump counts as an extra 1. I don't know how much charge jumps have been affected by the patch. I'm mostly an online player, not a time trial player, so some of these things I just don't know. Can we get 3 coins here? Nice. When I bag this track online, I don't get to get those 3 coins because the Shy Guy's in a completely different spot. Wow, snaking just a little bit. And then that is a very important way of taking that shortcut. As you can see there, that they went into the off-road a little bit and then used the mushroom. And then had a mini turbo but didn't release it until they came out of the off-road. Okay, so yeah, a lot of... Oh, there's a... You can trick there? Wait, what was that drift? Oh, to get the little extra mini turbo? That's faster? That's crazy. This is like... It's getting more and more like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe drifting by the day. Like the counter slide into like an extra mini turbo. But a lot of the times those are not actually faster, I think, in this game. It's only faster because you're in a trick boost. And so drifting slows you down, but being in a trick boost causes you to not really slow down. And so I imagine that's why getting these extra boosts is worth it. All right, taking one last shortcut here, a little air trick. Wow, really, really good line there. And then getting dangerously close to these. I remember that. Yeah, like, why is the rest of the track a straight line? Thanks, Nintendo. And then some snaking for some reason. Man, it's really exciting to see drifting get more optimized. Salty Salty Speedway, by this name, I can't even Google translate that. It's just some face with something on the right. Anyway, this is improved by about 1 second. And I wonder how much of this is new strategies. Because there's some really fun stuff you can do on this track, but I haven't heard of any brand new stuff lately. Okay, so that's a slightly different way of doing it compared to before. There used to, and then a charge jump. There used to be an orange mini turbo there. Now it's a blue mini turbo. I'm curious if it's the same on lap 2. I want to see why that is the case. Oh, no trick on the top there, just trick in the water. Interesting. Probably for good alignment. I've noticed that water tricks often are not actually that important. Okay, this, I don't remember if we saw this in the last time we watched it, but like I was already aware of this. So sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I tried learning that for online. It is incredibly tough. Like I can hit it maybe like, I don't know, 50% of the time. But the other 50% of the time, I just completely like fail, go out of bounds, or like hit a little divider that causes me to completely lose all my speed. So it's just not really worth going for, at least at my skill level. But yeah, hopefully we'll see that again here. So usually what you do is just mushroom through the boxes, but now we just ignore the boxes completely and mushroom onto this pole with a charge jump. And then land, like you see you had to jump from rail to rail over some dividers. Now, the thing is, sometimes it feels a little bit luck-based if that's even possible, because like the way you land on rails, sometimes it gives you little bursts of airtime where you cannot trick. And if that happens at a time where you need to trick, then you lose all of your speed. Like your speed goes down to 0. You hit one of the dividers in between the rails. And you can go slow that down if you want to see what dividers I'm talking about. It's the, like those little triangle shaped things in between the two rails. Completely deadly, those things. Just like in free roam, they're not there, and it's a lot easier to do this, but in time trials, like, or in online play, yeah, not jumping over those dividers completely kills your run, and that's just really impressive to be able to do this every time. Dino Jungle by Alberto, who last time when he first got the record, he messaged me saying that we share a track now. And I told him he's finally on my level. He has finally surpassed my level because he has at least, I don't know how many records he has on this track, but it's more than one now. At least I've seen 2. Congrats, Alberto. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe GOAT and Mario Kart World Legend. Can't say GOAT yet. We don't have a greatest of all time in Mario Kart World yet, but I'm curious who that's going to be. Okay, so far, I think it's the same as what we've seen before. There are a lot of tricks on this track, at least in the ending section, so it makes sense how this record was able to improve by a lot. I want to see if we see something new, because during the development of Dino Jungle, nice, that's something I've never been able to do. During the development of Dino Jungle, there have been a lot of improvements that came from cycle-based elements, like where the dinosaurs are located. Oh, interesting, almost running into that. The pace is so fast now. I've never seen that green dinosaur like walking past when I was time trialing this track. Because, like, you know, my time was, what, like 5 seconds, 4 seconds slower than this? Something like that. I actually went and beat my former world record on this track because, you know, we're just... Wait, what? Holy, that's so cool. So, okay, so lap 2, we go over the dinosaur. Oh, barely making it onto that rail. That's so tough. Yeah, lap 2, there's the dinosaur. And then, look, this dinosaur's not even in the way anymore. That's crazy. And then lap 3, we go on that wall. Man, like, there were cycle-based elements that have affected the run. This is such a cool world record. I love it. Great question block ruins by Spezzy, and this is one I wonder if it can be improved more, because it's been improved by just under 1 second this past week, or like the past month, but with the 1 week of the patch being out, and there are some tricks on this track, so it definitely should be improved. Let's see how different it is from before. Nice little ball ride. Oh, tricking off the end of it? I don't think that was what we saw a month ago. But yeah, like, I haven't really watched these records in the past month, so I don't know when that happened. And a little charge jump there, too. Mini turbo trick to get to this. I should probably learn that. I'm doing charge jump right now, and I feel like mini turbo trick is the way to go. Wow, hitting the box, barely dodging the edge of the road there. It's really hard to slow down there because you're in a trick boost. And that's part of why we need such a high handling combo. I mean, there are sharp turns on this track, so high handling is good anyway, but yeah, that's just like one very important reason why lightweights are really good on Great Question Block Ruins. And I feel like lightweights in this game are, in general, just really good. Now, it's not just for the handling stat. It's also because of the way coins work, and they're like weight dependent. So if you play a lightweight, the coins, like before you get up to like 10 coins, the coins are more valuable. And so that's part of why, like, you know, your speed stat gets mitigated a little bit by the benefit of coins. And so that's not just true for online play, that's true for time trials as well. You can see we end here at 6 coins. And so a fast combo really is not that much faster than one of the slowest combos at 6 coins. In fact, at 10 coins, a lot of the combos are roughly the same speed, which is crazy. So that goes to show that, like, you know, the mini turbo stat, the extra handling, very, very important stuff when you consider that your speed stat is not even that different from the fastest combos. And yeah, sorry, I didn't even mention too much about how crazy this stuff is because we've seen it so much now, but like, this is extremely tough. Something I wouldn't even go for online. But yeah, that saves so much time taking that shortcut Shroomless. There's just so many difficult things on this track. And I wonder if there's ever going to be, you know, more crazy discoveries here, because this is one of the most iconic tracks in this game. Cheep Falls has improved by over 3 seconds, and I thought Sky High Sundae was going to be the biggest improver over the last month because of the patch, but Cheep Falls has strategy changes, and it's like actually a really, really big deal. There's a huge shortcut discovered here. So first of all, we got this, which we've seen before, but now it's done with an orange mini turbo. I believe last month it was probably also an orange mini turbo, but at some point it was a blue mini turbo. The orange mini turbo helps a lot though. It's just hard to charge, but now watch this, watch this. This is the craziest part. We're gonna charge jump here. Like, that launch, look at that launch, and then we're going like inside the yellow fence. Now, in a time trial replay, you can't see, but okay, hang on, let me see this part. Oh wow, barely, okay. It's unbelievable how close the out of bounds is to where Nabbit was there. Man, I can imagine lots of runs getting lost or just going slightly too far to the right. But I do want to talk about the charge jump shortcut again, because keep in mind, at the start of the game, the best mushroom spot on this track was through the shortcut that we're skipping here. So the little bit of off-road there, and now we're skipping even more of it without a mushroom. Look at this, that's crazy. And like, in a time trial replay, you can't see that I believe what's happened in reality is that Nabbit has knocked over the yellow fence thing. But in the replay, you can't see it, and that's how we're going inside. Usually, if you go past one of these yellow fences, it counts you out of bounds. But for this one, it just doesn't for some reason. Like, the out of bounds in this game is so finicky and unclear. But, you know, it's like, we always like it when it's a little bit more lenient than what you see. You know, it just to be a little bit more forgiving. I think that's good game design, because otherwise it feels bad. But yeah, like, and then this charge jump, I don't know how we're getting so far here. And yeah, you can see, like, Nabbit is kind of slowing down as he hits the signs or the fences. Crazy stuff there. Yeah, this is like you know, completely normal time trial, and then just like 3 of the hardest things ever. Dandelion Depths by Alberto. This is improved by just over 1 second since a month ago. And you'd think it would improve by like a minute or 24 seconds or whatever if you just like hop off the track right here and quit out into free roam. It's crazy how many things Nintendo patched out of the game, but I think they didn't patch this one out. Yeah, if you want to see a video about that, I have one about that crazy shortcut, but obviously does not work in time trials. Thank goodness. Imagine if we were just like skipping all of lap 2 on Crown City, like in time trials because of that glitch. Then Nintendo would have to patch it. Okay, so far everything is pretty much the same as what I've seen before, and lots of tricks and some water on this track, so it makes sense that this record was able to improve just from the patch. Yeah, unless there's some micro optimization I'm not seeing, it looks like so far everything I've seen is the same as the last time that I watched this record. Yeah, mini turbo tricks here. I just go for like trick and drive, which is the old world record strategy. Okay, and then this orange mini turbo, you have to start that drift so early to get the orange mini turbo without getting bad alignment and getting so close to the off-road there. Now here, you want to make sure you land on the land here much faster than being in the water for those 2 tricks. Oh yeah, and then another part of the land right there. That's something I don't think about. I think it's because there's item boxes there when I play online, so I don't go for that one. But if I don't need items, I should definitely go for that part, because being on land is just so much faster than being in the water. And plus, you don't have to go through that whole like water bounce animation, and getting the tricks on the land gives you a stronger trick boost than... well, it's a stronger trick boost than aerial tricks, but I don't think it's a stronger trick boost than water tricks. However, it's like, I think it eats up less of your earlier trick boost if you're on land, because it gives you the speed right away. Whereas if you land in a trick in water, I'm not 100% sure on this, but it looks to me visually like you are slowing down a bit. Yeah, like these are just full speed, and then in the water, it's like, you just don't want to be in the water in this game if you can help it. Okay, and then this charge jump right here to get a little bit less airtime and launch forward a little bit more. Wow, great line there. Amazing stuff, Alberto. Boo Cinema by Dr. Pill. This track has had a revolution on the first turn. Watch this. And then hitting the bit of fence to clear you out of the way. Isn't that crazy? That's like a free roam looking shortcut. Oh, man. And I can't remember it. Do we do that on lap 2 and 3? But yeah, I saw this when it was first discovered. It is crazy. And the craziest part is I released my shorts about Boo Cinema shortcuts as soon as this was discovered. So, like pretty much at the same time this was discovered was when I finished making the Boo Cinema short. So that was unfortunate. But luckily, it's not really a shortcut you need to know for online. It's like, it's unbelievably difficult. And I'll try to explain it a bit in real time here, because I was able to make it once. You mushroom here, and you're not charge jumping. See, there's a little bit of incline there that that you land on, and that shoots you up into the air if you trick there. But the hardest part is not the mushroom. It's not even avoiding the wall and then hitting that trick. The hardest part is getting just the right alignment onto the wall so that you climb up the wall onto that secret rail. And you'll see it again. Slow-mo this if you want. It's like one of the strangest, most creative, difficult shortcuts. And I mean, I feel like this is never going to be online viable, but we'll see. Crazier things have happened. At least not soon. Like, look at how precise this is. Yeah, and landing on that rail at the top. Actually, I don't know. It could be online viable. I'm underestimating Mario Kart players. Okay, and then one other thing I want to point out. Like, see this little edge trick right here? I can get that sometimes. I don't really go for it because it's easy to get bumped off and it's hard to hit. But the edge trick coming up next, I would say like this is potentially the easiest edge trick in the entire game. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not thinking about another one, but I can hit that one like, I don't know. I've hit it 15 times in a row before, but I probably get it like 90% of the time. So yeah, that's, if you want to learn an edge trick, definitely go for that one. It feels so cool to make it, but it's not even that hard. Dry Bones Burnout by this Japanese player, Kirimu, and it's improved by well over 1 second. I remember seeing some crazy strategies here that I think there was something we only saw on lap 1, and it was like a little trick on the left here. Oh, not even going for it. Okay. Interesting. I wonder why that is. And there are a lot of tricks on this track, so the patch definitely has helped. But I'm curious about strategy changes, and I don't even remember too much about what exactly we did and didn't see 1 month ago. Okay, this has been known since the start, but there's like a little shortcut here that we're about to see. Charge jump, yes. And then a little trick right here. Wow. Little trick right here. Nice. Okay. So I think we've seen this all, right? Unless like between somewhere in the last month, I watched the world record without it being the one in the video. There was not a combo change, but this improved by a lot. I imagine it probably just came from the patch. Unless, of course, as always, since I don't play a lot of time trials, there could have been some super secret tech and optimization that I'm just not aware of, where they're doing something that looks similar to before, but is actually a lot faster. And speaking of that, that's actually one important reason why, if you time trial for the purpose of being good at online play, if you want to get really good, it's not just a matter of learning all of these main strategies and seeing that like, okay, I'm doing pretty good, I guess. I know how to do all the main shortcuts. It's very important to... You don't have to race a world record ghost, but you do want to at least race your own ghost in time trials. And the huge benefit of that is that there's some turns you may not realize that could be a lot faster than you think if you do something a little bit differently, like take the turn a little bit tighter. And like just racing against a ghost is so important because if you have nothing to compare to, you'll think you're doing everything really well, but you actually may not be. And you may not even know there may be one huge weakness you could easily improve on that you never notice because you're not racing against a ghost. So you think you're just slower everywhere, but you're actually slower in just one spot. Moo Moo Meadows by Kinso, and this has improved by over 2 seconds since a month ago. And when we saw this a month ago, it was still in the optimization phase for some new strategies. And I think it like wasn't used on all 3 laps or something, but yeah, okay, so this is what we've seen before. And take a coin from your cow friend. Stealing money out here. But, okay, this shortcut has been discovered to be shroomless. Oh, we're actually doing it already. Nice! And then land on the rail, because without the mushroom, you don't get as far. And then this, we can now use a mushroom here instead of doing the crazy cow shortcut. And I believe there should be a shroomless thing at the end here, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, another charge jump into this, like, see how jagged and unflat these walls are? That's part of what makes this extra tough. And now we're going over here to, like, get onto the fence. Actually, that might not be new. I can't really remember. There have been too many strategy changes on this track throughout the last 2 months. But are we going for this again? Nice. Okay, trick there. Okay, so there's an incredible nuance to that. Like, not only is this shortcut barely being made, there's an incredible thing you probably didn't realize for that. So what it just looks like to you, and to me the first time I watched it, is that you trick off this like secret trick portion on the grass, and then you just charge jump, right? But it's not that simple, because you have to do the trick in a way, like the first trick on the grass, you have to do a trick in a way where you still land in the grass when you're charge jumping. Otherwise, your charge jump is fully charged too far forward. You literally need to slow down a little bit by doing that. So watch how we... Okay. They didn't... Oh, and then the old cow strategy, because we don't have a mushroom anymore. I'm so glad that's still here. That's awesome, but... Oh, man. Go back in the video and just pretend I said what I just said right there and said, I didn't know we didn't do that on lap 3. I don't even know why. Is it because it's difficult, or is it because of the cow cycle? Anyway, congrats on this awesome record. That was so embarrassing. Choco Mountain by Zay. This is improved by almost 2 seconds in the past month, and I was aware of a new potential strategy. I'm curious if we're going to see it here. Oh, wow, using the startup boost to get through that shortcut? That's crazy. I never knew about that. I wonder if that's something you can do in first place online. But you start over to the left, so maybe you can't do it. Also, sorry if that's already been in the world record. I did not know about it. Maybe I didn't pay enough attention last time. Because I'm always talking so much at the start. But yeah, something I wanted to mention is because I talked a little bit about, you know, greatest of all time contenders in Mario Kart World, and it's way too early to say but someone who's definitely on that trajectory, in my opinion, could be Zay. And Zay's credentials, besides a lot of these time trial world records, Zay has had a lot, is that also currently the #1 ranked competitive player, like online competitive, is Zay. And so, you know, that definitely gives an argument, because when we said greatest of all time in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there was always like, you know, Alberto for time trials, maybe Kusan for online play, like competitive. But right now, Zay is like, you know, holds multiple world records, which not a lot of people do. We have like Alberto holding several. Maybe some others I'm forgetting, I'm sorry. But yeah, Zay holds some world records and has held a lot in the past and is currently the #1 player. Now, the #1 has been changing hands a lot, so, you know, obviously, like I said, too early to say, but I just want to congratulate Zay on being such an incredible Mario Kart world player. And I don't know much about Zay, but I know that Zay was starting to get really, really, really good at the end of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know too much about this stuff, but yeah, congratulations on such an incredible resume in Mario Kart World so far, and I hope to see great things from you in the future, including maybe one day every world record. Expectations probably too high there. Toad's Factory has improved by about 1 second in the last month. This is the player F. I don't know if this is the same F from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That would be really cool, because later into the lifetime of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is when F started getting insanely good, basically setting unbeatable records on tracks like Waluigi Stadium and just like dominating on Mount Wario and I think Cloud Top Cruise as well. So if this is the same F, that's pretty cool. I believe, at least in these videos, this is the first record I've seen from F. Yeah, incredible line there, trying to dodge the backwards conveyor belt. Going so far right here. I never go this far right. Like, what's the advantage there? Oh, the little boost pedal. That's crazy. Mini turbo trick. Wow, into a mini turbo. Yeah, so that was what I was saying earlier with, like, you know, a lot of these mini turbos are not always worth it. By the way, that rainbow mini turbo there is insane. A lot of these mini turbos are not worth going for because drifting is slow. But if you're in a speed boost and, you know, you optimize for that so that you're charging while in a trick boost, then a lot of these extra mini turbos can be worth it. Also because mini turbos accelerate you quite slowly before you get up to full speed, and by the time you get up to full speed, like, the boost is already done. But hopefully we see the same thing again here. Yeah, so the trick boost, you're just decelerating from the trick boost and then quite quickly again, then re-accelerating from the mini turbo. So stacking speed boosts like that is really good because you get to skip the acceleration deceleration phase. If you put two boosts, one right after the other, then you get to stay at full speed the whole time. And that is actually better than getting those two boosts separately. However, there was still a gap in between, so I wonder how much of that is a factor on that specific section of the track. Wow, getting a little bit of airtime there, but in this game, if you airtime over, like if you go over a boost panel, you still get to get the boost from it. Bowser's Castle by this Japanese player. Bowser's Castle was another one of the biggest improvers, and this has been improved by almost 3 seconds in the past month. And again, I'm sorry, I don't remember which strategies showed up in the last world record, but I think the main strategy changes did not show up in the last video. So yeah, that is a way of doing that shortcut that I don't go for online. It's really, really tough, but it is extremely fast. And here, I believe we do the trick into the air trick here, which is sort of new. Yeah. And then these shortcuts got way easier after the patch, but watch this. Completely insane. Like, you have to be an insane person to do that. And then we still have a mushroom, right? So we use it over here. And now the right path is now faster because it has a little bit of a lava shortcut. Nice trick. That's so risky. Yeah, so blue mini turbo, charge jump here. I've tried this so much, and I've made it a couple times, but it's like, it's a lot harder than it looks, I have to say. Whereas the rail version is like 100% consistent. Yeah, so this is like a sort of new thing right here where you do like trick into air trick here. Kind of a combination of new and old strategies, but then this part is just insane. I can't imagine even doing this. have to like wall ride, trick, wall ride, and like, do you see how jagged and like weird that wall is? I imagine that makes this so inconsistent. Yeah, just an incredible series of discoveries on Bowser's Castle. It's just more and more and more. I wonder if there's gonna be even more, because I like the other day, I went and rewatched my reaction to the first day of World Records, and I gotta say, like, I remember seeing the Bowser's Castle beginning shortcut for the first time, and I was surprised by it. And then I was surprised the second time watching it back, being like, wow, you were surprised by that? That's just part of the normal track now. But then, like, now it's even crazier. Like, every 5 seconds, there's an insanely difficult thing we're doing, like, brand new strategy. I just love it. This has to be one of the best Bowser's Castles ever. Like, if you're a new player, it might seem a bit degenerate, like, wow, I have to learn this much stuff to compete on this track. But, you know, as an experienced player, it's so cool. Acorn Heights by Nanu, and this is improved by just over 1 second in the past month. I'm curious if there's any new strategies here, or maybe just slight optimizations. I've noticed when there's a lot of rails on a track, then these little optimizations can happen. Oh, charge jump. I don't think I've seen that before. And then, you see that? What I was talking about earlier, left trick into right trick, both are completely unnecessary for taking a good line, but anytime you can force a side trick to still have a good line, then side tricks are just faster. Oh, the little wall detach, that's crazy. All right, so I think we saw something like that last time through that section, but I don't think it looks exactly like that. Like, I think it looks a lot better now, like a lot more optimized. That's really cool. I wonder if we'll see that on lap 2 and 3. I remember last time, I can't remember what it was. It definitely wasn't all 3 laps that we were doing that. It was like some combination. It was either just lap 1 or it was like lap 2 and 3. Yeah, that side trick sends you all the way to the glider panel. If you forward trick, you actually land slightly before the glider panel. And that's a very easy spot to see the difference between forward tricks and side tricks. Holy... It's so rare with how much I've played this game recently that I can look at something like that and I'm not even sure what exact mechanic is going on. Like, is that a wall detach? Are we tricking off the wall? I don't know. It's just so fast and there's so many things going on. That's wild. And I thought I was good at this track for being able to do the shroomless shortcut at the end every single time. So here we have a charge jump to like... Oh, I think it's to have some of the boost carry into that right trick. Because if you do that right trick with no boost, then you end up kind of like just flying off the edge. And that's part of why I don't do that online, because it's a bit risky. Oh, we landed on that other rail. Oh, that's why it looks so weird. It wasn't a wall thing. It was like we weren't treating the second rail as a wall. We were landing back on the first rail, and that corrects the alignment. That's insane. Amazing stuff. This is such a fun time trial. Mario Circuit by Jenswa. This track has only improved by like 0.2, 0.3 seconds over the past month, which sort of makes sense because it's already by far the shortest track in the game, so big improvements are going to be more difficult. And it's already so optimized. And of course, the change to tricks don't affect this track too much. Like, we have a few tricks here, but they're not that big of a deal because there are just so few tricks on this track. And also, getting on top of that block, so tough. Like, the old strategy was getting on the walls, but getting on top of the block is just insane stuff. And a little bit of an off-road cut there, that's crazy. This off-road is really unforgiving. I'm surprised how far Jens was going into the off-road here. But yeah, one thing I wanted to say is, it's interesting, like, my view on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where a lot of the times I'd watch the time trial world records to figure out what I should be doing online. But I feel like in Mario Kart World, there's such a big difference between what is possible in time trials when fully optimized and what you should actually go for at a low risk when playing online. It's just so interesting with how many crazy strategies there are. Like, look at that, getting on top of the block. Oh man, like, that's something you should not really go for online. Peach Stadium by this Japanese player. And this is improved by nearly 2 seconds. I'm so curious because this was just discovered very recently. I'm curious if the new shroomless shortcut is going to be used in this run. Okay, let's take a look. So it's at the part where you would do the rail shortcut with the feather. You could now do that kind of shroomless. I mean, you can kind of do it shroomless. You do a slightly different version of it using the wall. Okay, here we go. Are we going to see it? Little edge tricks, nice. Oh, we're not going for it. Okay, so yeah, you can get on top of that rail there by like, I'll just show a clip on screen. What is this? Oh, what? Okay, I was like, that doesn't look that much faster. And then I saw the right trick off the rail, and I was like, oh, that's why it's so much faster. Like, it's unbelievable how much side tricks really make you go faster in this game. Okay, lots of tricks on that rail. It's hard to get that many. I've actually started doing that really high trick off the rail before it. And actually, you see the way we like held the purple, not the purple, the rainbow mini turbo up until that boost panel so that there's like no time in between the boosts. And that's what I was talking about earlier with it's called chaining boosts. It's trying to have like no time in between the two boosts. Okay, let's see it here. Wow. And then see how much faster you go during that right trick? I'll shut up about it. Wow, lots of edge tricks, 3 edge tricks, and then this thing right here, mini turbo into a trick. The airtime looks bad, but then you get to stack part of your charge jump charging, which is really slow. You get to stack that with the trick boost when you land. And then yeah, this rainbow mini turbo, like you have to take such a good line for this to even happen naturally, for the rainbow mini turbo to perfectly chain into the boost panel. That edge trick looks unbelievably tough. What is that, like a 10-degree turn in the road and you're getting an edge trick off that? Insane stuff. Again, this is why I can't be a top-level time trialer. This is the only reason. And then more edge tricks here. This has to be one of the most annoying ones to time trial. That's right at the end of the track, too. That's nuts. Rainbow Road by Diogo. Technical has finally been dethroned. I think every other time we've looked at this has been Technical holding the record. And, you know, Diogo didn't even beat Technical by much. It was by like, I don't know, a very small amount. Technical is still in second place, but congrats Diogo for taking away such a legendary record. And this was significant for the patch because I remember like when the patch first dropped and people were discovering what changes were made specifically to time trials with the tricks. Then Technical tweeted about, okay, maybe made a post on X, I don't know what you kids say nowadays, but Technical was showing how the tricks on Rainbow Road have been buffed by so much, and we saw a few earlier, but like the tricks right here as well, these, because you're landing on an uphill, for some reason it used to slow you down so much. And yeah, like it's just such a huge change. And the last time, a month ago, when we looked at all the world records, that was when Technical set the first ever sub 4-minute time on Rainbow Road. And now, with the change, that's just been crushed by over, well, almost 2 seconds. Which is crazy stuff, because I don't think there's been a lot of new strategy changes. Even though it is a long track, 2 seconds is insane. But yeah, they're actually... I think not all of the 2 seconds come from this change. There has been a strategy discovered that, I don't know, it's such a long track. It'll come later. There's at least one strategy change that's going to happen a lot later. But for the most part, you know, Rainbow Road is pretty simple in this game. But it still is one of the most impressive world records, in my opinion, because of the stamina and focus you need to, like, you know, play perfectly for 4 minutes. That's insane stuff. Congrats, Diogo, for being able to do this. And, yeah, dethrone such a legendary player on this track. So, yeah, that's definitely one thing is, like, there's so many amazing time trialers, and, you know, not all of them manage to get world records all the time. So, but a lot of them still manage to help push the meta of the time trials of, like, finding the best strategies and finding new ways to do these strategies to make them more consistent or to make them faster, discovering when one combo is better than another combo. Because remember, these things aren't just like facts you can plug into a logic machine and ask it for the answer. Like, this requires tons of experimentation from extremely good players, because if you're not that good of a player, you actually cannot tell if like one combo or one strategy is faster than another. You know, unless you time against the world record and beat it using that, like beat it for a certain period of time. But, you know, even that's tough. Like, if I discover a new strategy that's faster than something else, I might not be doing it correctly to, like, be able to show to world record holders that, hey, this is actually faster and worth going for in runs. So, you know, it's just, there's so much to this game. And another thing is that what really impresses me is how much this game has changed. Because one thing, okay, so many edge tricks, by the way, I'm just not even mentioning it at this point. It's just so natural. But one thing that people said at the start of this game is that the game looks really simple. Especially if you looked at the world records. There were like rails and walls we're not really using. And like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe ended up being amazing. Even though it also looked just as simple. But now, it took like a week for Mario Kart World Records to start looking more impressive than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, like, look at this stuff. Now we have stuff like this. There's a pole there. Nintendo just put the pole there. Like, is that intentional? Maybe. Are Nintendo actually geniuses of game design? Obviously, they just are not good at quality of life improvements. Miss the edge trick. Get good, Diogo. What was that? No, that was such an impressive run. Oh, man. To only miss one out of the whole run, by the way, insane. And the best part of all these world record improvements is it takes less and less time for me to record these videos.